Okay, so I am cutting together this beginning of the song with this later part of the song. So there's this seam now. And that would be a good reason to put an audio transition. Because all of a sudden the sound of the music kind of changes a little bit there. So if you go into effects, you can close up video transitions because we're moving on to explore the audio transitions now. I'm gonna open up audio transitions. Audio transitions, they keep it simple. It's just 3 in the crossfade category. Just one category, and there are only 3. The one that's used most commonly is set by default as the default transition, constant power. Let's see what that one sounds like. If you drag that one, I'm going to drag that one to the cut to apply it and play. So it's kind of blending the audio, the handle room of one side of the audio into the other, one clip into the other. I'm going to make it a little shorter. So that kind of smooths things out. If I select this, if I select this and I go to Effect Controls, then we will see a diagram of kind of how it's working with constant power. It has a gradual transition. That's why you see a curve here coming down and a curve here going up. So as the audio is cut, the audio in the handle room of the first audio clip is gradually fading down. The audio in the handle room of the next audio clip is gradually fading in, so it creates this transitioning. And just like video transitions, you can have it center at the cut, or you can align it differently, start at cut. Hear how it sounds differently starting at the cut. Or you can have it end at the cut, and hear how it sounds differently ending at the cut. Or you could align it. It's going crazy on me. Or you could do custom alignment, so you can just go into your clip timeline and use that slide tool that's going to magically appear. It seems like it's magic because you don't need to go and choose the slide tool. It's just going to automatically appear when you're hovering over the transition on either side of the cut. So you could do your own custom alignment of the transition. But let's see what it's going to sound like if I use one of the other options. So I'm going to delete constant power and drag in, let's see what constant gain does differently. So I'm going to drag constant gain in and select it. So with constant gain, you don't have that curve of a more gradual transitioning. It's more linear of the volume of one clip blending into the volume of the other clip. That's constant gain. It's going to be kind of trying to create an even level of audio blending one into the other. And then there is exponential fade, where instead of it being trying to keep a constant audio level, it's going to fade down the level of the first clip and fade into the level of the next clip. So let's hear it. So with exponential fade, you definitely hear a dip in the sound, a lowering of the sound at the cut. Whereas with constant gain, you don't hear that dip in the sound. The audio level stays constant. So those are the 3 audio transitions. If you want to use the keyboard shortcut to apply the default transition, Here are the keyboard shortcuts. Shift Control D on Windows. This is for audio. Shift Command D on a Mac. So let's see how that works. How do you apply that? So I'm on a Mac, so I would use Shift Command D. So before, with applying video transition, we had to have the cut or the playhead lining up with the cut. So let's see if it'll work that way this time. Shift Command D. Yep, that worked. Okay, I'm gonna try. I think there's a difference though with this. Let's see if it'll work if the playhead is off the cut. Shift Command D. Nope, it's not working. What about, I'm gonna zoom out. What about if I select a clip? Will it work? Shift Command D. That's interesting. So when on the clip that was selected, it added the transition to the default transition to the beginning of the clip. I wonder if that works the same with if I was selected on a clip here and I used on a video clip and I used Command D. No. Oh yeah, it does. So it does work the same way with image too, or video, that if you're selected on a clip, it's gonna put the transition at the beginning of that selected clip. And if I selected more than one clip and I do Command D, it's gonna put the transition on all the cuts of all the cuts of anything that's selected. So I'm going to undo that. But in general, if you want to apply a transition to a cut, it's going to apply, when you use the keyboard shortcut, it's going to apply where if you have your playhead lined up on a cut. And if you have any clips selected, it'll apply the transitions to the cuts on selected clips too when you use the keyboard shortcut. Okay. So actually I think this part is wrong, because it's gonna add the transition only when you have the playhead lined up, or the current time indicator is another name for the playhead. It needs to be lined up on the edit point, or the clips need to be selected. Okay, so that's a wrap on the lesson, and now we have free time, so I can help you guys individually now. Stop.